In this video, I just wanted to follow up on the topic of narcissism and my previous video regarding a past experience that I had with an ex-boyfriend. Someone pointed out to me, and they were absolutely correct, that we cannot just diagnose people or just declare that they have a certain personality disorder. And this was something that I overlooked in an attempt to share my story. I think it's very common nowadays, especially on social media, for people to talk about certain health conditions without a full knowledge of what that disorder entails. For me, I didn't know what a narcissist was or what a narcissistic personality disorder looked like. It wasn't until after the relationship was over and I did a lot of my own research and spoke at length with my therapist, I started to put the pieces together and say, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. But the reality is, this is not confirmed. This is simply what I believe to be true. I also think it's important, and this is a lesson that I'm learning, is that we shouldn't just throw psychological terms out willy-nilly, like saying, oh, that guy's a psychopath or she's just bipolar. I think it can lead to a lot of confusion if we're not well versed in the symptoms and the details of the condition. It's also unfair to people who are clinically diagnosed with conditions such as bipolar disorder, who didn't ask for or want that to be their reality. So this is me fact-checking myself, but also just, I think, sharing an important point. Another comment was that I was simply telling this story for attention. That, in a way, is also correct. I want to bring attention to the message. I think for a lot of us who are in relationships and situations where we are being mistreated, we are not always able to recognize it because we don't have a point of reference. Maybe we're being manipulated by a partner. Or maybe we grew up in a household where behaviors like this existed, so that is what we perceive to be normal. I shared that story and any story I may share in the future so that others who may be in similar situations will know that their feelings and their concerns are valid. Another point brought up was that this is only one side of the story, which is absolutely true. This was just my side, so I think it's important to take that with a grain of salt. I think I should acknowledge also that I wasn't taking into account his past, maybe his childhood traumas or experiences that he'd had that may have caused him to behave that way. Because the truth is, I don't think people are just born that way. A lot of our behaviors as adults are reflections of the things that we observed as children. I also want to be clear that I am not without faults, obviously. I have made mistakes, some of which I still have some shame about, and I have behaved in ways that I'm not proud of. What I am grateful for, though, is that I feel like I've grown a lot with each relationship that I've had. A lot of that growth has occurred within the last few years. I think the key for me was just learning how to be more self-aware. Understanding why I may act or respond to things in a certain way, and then seeing what I can do to approach it differently the next time. There are two things that I want to note here that I have always done and will continue to do moving forward. In any personal story that I may share, I will never use any identifying information regarding a specific individual. As much as someone may have hurt me in the past, I am not here to seek revenge, and that is not why I do this. Telling a story like this does not come from a place of bitterness or anger for me, truly. Second, I tell this story because it is my truth. Regardless of what anyone else may think or say about it, these are the events as they occurred from my perspective. I think it's important to remember that no one can discredit your experience if they were not there and they are not you. So in summary, let's be careful with our words, but also not be afraid to share our truth. Because the truth is not only what sets us free, but it can help set others free as well.